Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues a royal decree. The National Committee for E-Census of Population, Housing and Establishments 2020 reviews the time schedule of the implementation of the E-Census project. The Shura Council approves the Gulf Trademark System project and the report of the Services and Social Development Committee on the communications sector. And Sultan Qaboos University and the Ministry of Heritage and Culture approved conducting a study on Omani fellahs and utilizing the Omani architectural heritage. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has issued Royal Decree number 11/2017. Article 1, defining terms of reference of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry according to Annex number 1. Article 2, approving the organizational structure of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry as per Annex number 2. Article 3, all that contradicts with this decree or contravenes with its provisions shall be cancelled. Article 4. This decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. The National Committee for Electronic Census of Population, Housing and Establishments 2020 held its first meeting of the year. The committee reviewed topics related to the implementation of the E-Census project for the year 2020, according to the specified period in the Royal Decree number 15/2015. It also discussed the preparations of the government bodies and ministries for the census, as well as the availability of appropriate databases. It also focused on various other topics on its agenda. The meeting was chaired by His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of Heritage and Culture, Chairman of the committee. The Shura Council during its meeting today permitted the trademark system project of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries and forwarded it to the State Council. The Council also approved the draft law of regulating and maintaining the Aflash sites listed in the World Heritage List, and the report of the Services and Social Development Committee on the communications sector after the findings of the committee on the existence of a regulatory gap in this sector and the lack of infrastructure and the rising prices. The Council listened to a number of ministerial replies, mainly the response of the Minister of Transport and Communications on the integration of logistic services to Salalah Airport and Seaport, the response of the Minister of Health on provisions of selecting the location of setting up health institutions related to treatment of drugs and narcotics addicted patients, in addition to the reply of the Capital Market Authority on reasons of the non-issuance of the regulation for Takaful insurance law. The Joint Committee of Sultan Qaboos University and the Ministry of Heritage and Culture approved conducting a study on Omani fellahs and on utilizing the Omani architectural heritage. The committee discussed the possibilities available for the ministry to benefit from the Literature Master Program in Archaeology and in choosing research relevant to Omani archaeology. It also studied conducting joint field projects for the common interest and to preserve this Sultanate's traditional heritage, as well as the possibility of taking advantage from the studies and research of the archaeological missions and the maritime surveys for submerged archaeology. The Ministry of Transport and Communications started the implementation of the compulsory auditing program on the maritime administration in the Sultanate. This program came to get acquainted on the aspects that need correction or improvement in a way to achieve the goals of the International Maritime Organization in addition to the requirements of sea navigation, safety, and protection of the marine environment. The insurance sector in the Sultanate witnessed a growth by 1.9% during 2016. The insurance premiums recorded an increase by 2%. The volume of growth achieved in the sector by the end of 2016 reached around 454 million Omani riyals, compared to 446 million riyals in 2015. Meanwhile, the health insurance sector achieved good growth rates by 12.5%. The growth in the insurance sector in 2015 reached 10% compared to 2016. The statistics show that the decrease came due to the decline in oil prices and the economic situation in the region. The Sultanate will participate in the Special Olympics World Winter Games 2017 in Austria. This was announced in a press conference by the Special Olympic Oman Association. The Winter Games will witness a participation from around 2,700 players representing 107 countries. On the sidelines of the event, a conference for youth will also be held, targeting the disabled category from 18 countries, in addition to the exchange of expertise and points of view. The Special Olympic Oman Association aims to develop the skills and capabilities of the disabled category, as well as to spread awareness in the community on the importance of blending them in the society, as well as social, cultural, sports, and entertainment fields. Maritime Security Center executed today its first exercise, Maritime Security 2017, with the participation of the bodies concerned in this field. The exercise was aimed at testing the readiness of the Maritime Security Center in dealing with oil spill accidents, search and rescue and evacuation operations. Here is a report by Captain Saeed bin Yahya Al-Amri.
Oil tankers vessels accidents are considered one of the most complex threats to the maritime environment due to the probable spill of oil and the danger of its spread and extension to other neighboring areas, as well as to the subsequent contamination. This kind of accidents require swift intervention and urgent medical evacuation measurements.
The aim of the exercise is to raise the operational readiness and effectiveness of all national maritime security stakeholders, as well as improving the coordination and response procedures of all participants. And we are trying to implement that through a scenario of a ship facing a major fire in the Omani territorial sea, and the response towards that scenario, such as fighting the major fire itself, or the response when there is an incident of oil pollution or search and rescue or other medical evacuations.
The exercise Maritime Security 2017 simulates a burning fire on board of a merchant oil tanker at the Sultanate Territorial Sea in order to test the response of the Maritime Security Center to this accident in the framework of integrated joint operations amongst all national powers represented in the Maritime Security Center.
The exercise was activated after a report of fire on board one of the merchant ships north of As-Sawadi Islands. After that, the Maritime Security Center coordinated all search and rescue operations with all relevant bodies represented in Maritime Security Center.
The Maritime Security Center is entitled to enforce the necessary mechanisms and procedures to secure and safeguard the maritime navigation, ports, coasts, and all maritime assets against any maritime security threats with the participation of all concerned national powers.
The working mechanism in the Maritime Security Center requires the participation of various national organizations within the framework of unifying and coordinating the national efforts in tackling maritime threats, such as the military and security apparatus in the Sultanate, along with other concerned state ministries.
The exercise Maritime Security 2017 was executed to achieve objectives of raising the readiness of Maritime Security Center and maintaining its capabilities in dealing with oil spill incidents. Captain Saeed bin Yahya Al-Amri, Muscat.
Still to come in our news bulletin. Under the theme, Your Life is Important, activities of the GCC Traffic Week started in the Governorate of Buraimi. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Exchanging cordial conversations and reviewing a number of topics of concern to the two friendly countries topped the discussion between His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, and His Excellency Ambassador Stuart E. Jones, U.S. Assistant Secretary. At the beginning of the meeting, the Minister of the Royal Office welcomed the guest, who expressed his delight to visit the Sultanate. The meeting reviewed March of the good bilateral relations binding the Sultanate and the friendly U.S. to serve the joint interest, besides touching on a number of issues of common concern. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, also received His Excellency Ambassador Stuart E. Jones, U.S. Secretary Assistant, and his accompanying delegation. The meeting discussed the existing bilateral relations between the two countries and issues of common concern. Under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Harrasi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television, a ceremony was held to honor the top winners of the ACT-1 Extreme Sailing Series at Al Moj Golf Course. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
Team Oman Air got their bid for Extreme Sailing Series ESS Glory off to a solid start, claiming third place in the season opener on their home waters of Muscat on Saturday. The crew, now with $1 million World Match Racing Tour winner Philip Robinson at the helm, scored 16 podium finishes in 27 races, including 4 wins, as the Extreme Sailing Series crews went head-to-head for the first time this year. A wet and wild final day saw Oman Air's foiling GC-32 catamaran blasting round the stadium recourse of Al Moj Gulf at blistering speeds of more than 28 knots in pursuit of the first spoils of the season. On Saturday, the 3 heavyweight teams went into the final double points, scoring race each capable of taking the overall win. SAP Extreme Sailing Team clinched overall victory, crossing the line in second, and in order to secure the runner-up spot, Oman Air had to finish within 1 place of Alangi. But in a last-minute blow to their hopes, Towers Racing got between them right before the finish line, and Oman Air were relegated to third. Skipper Robinson admitted to being slightly disappointed, but said the new-look crew on Team Oman Air had much to take from their first Extreme Sailing Series outing.
This is the first occasion that our new captain Phil Robinson came on board, and he's been making a wonderful progress with the team. Very, very exciting, very, very happy moments. This has proven to be an excellent platform for Oman Air to use in promoting Destination Oman and positioning not only the airline but also the country while the competition sails around the world and competes around the world.
In Oman we had a great regatta. Unfortunately we're just finishing second, but it was a really good fight in the top 3 position, and we're really happy to be here, and it was perfect condition for sailing here in Oman. Yeah.
Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television.
The Message of Islam exhibition continues showcasing the Sultanate's civilizational role through spreading and boosting the culture of coexistence and peaceful understanding among nations and cultures. This time, the Message of Islam is taking place in the Romanian capital, Bucharest. Here is a report.
The touring exhibition Oman's Message of Islam, Tolerance, Understanding and Coexistence was opened on March 10, 2017 for the first time in Romania to a great acclaim by the diplomatic community. Ambassadors from several countries attended the opening ceremony, including Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Sudan and Palestine, and publicly expressed their support for this initiative. Organized by Oman's Ministry of Endowments and Religious Affairs, the exhibition is part of an initiative to promote international dialogue, peaceful coexistence and inter-religious dialogue. The exhibition was co-hosted by the Center for Studies and Inter-Religious and Intercultural Dialogue of the University of Bucharest, the European Romanian Pan-Arabian Cultural Center, and was held on the premises of the Palazzo Italia, an international cultural and business center. The opening ceremony was attended by more than 140 distinguished guests, representatives of Romanian government ministries, academic and religious communities, students and faculty of various universities and members of the public. The exhibition consists of picture panels presenting information about the Sultanate of Oman and the practice of religion in everyday life. Artifacts and facsimile Quranic and other manuscripts are displayed, and short films shown on the topic of religious tolerance in Oman. To date, the exhibition has been presented since 2010 in more than 100 cities in 31 countries worldwide. The materials are currently available in 28 languages.
With the aim to encourage students to read and to increase the level of cultural awareness through providing various books and references, the 4th book fair was organized at Az-Zahra College in the Governorate of Muscat. The event, which witnessed participation of numerous local publishers, contained social, economic, scientific, and academic books, as well as an artistic show such as a documentary on the library and book poetry. Under the theme, Your Life is Important, activities of GCC Traffic Week started in the Governorate of Buraymi. The activities came in cooperation between the Royal Oman Police and the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of Buraymi. It included plays and poems which talked about the importance of traffic awareness, as well as a lecture on statistics of traffic issues in the Sultanate. They also contained an exhibition presenting some of traffic accident victims, in addition to spreading driving instructions to reduce the accidents. The event aims to equate the members of the society with the efforts exerted by Royal Oman Police in spreading traffic awareness among road users and abiding by traffic rules. Activities of the annual festival for camel race were concluded in the Wilaya of Masira in the Governorate of South Sharqiya. It included 11 rounds and witnessed tough competitions from many participants. The event was accompanied by Omani traditional arts and witnessed a huge participation from members of the society, as well as those interested in such activities from the youth. At the end of the event, prizes were presented to the winners of the race. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of cloud accumulation over the northern governorates and scattered rainfall over the Governorate of Musandam. Winds will be southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is a Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues a royal decree. The National Committee for E-Census of Population, Housing and Establishments 2020 reviews the time schedule of the implementation of the E-Census project. The Shura Council approves the Gulf Trademark System project and the report of the Services and Social Development Committee on the communications sector. And Sultan Qaboos University and the Ministry of Heritage and Culture approved conducting a study on Omani villages and utilizing the Omani architectural heritage. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.